Ladies and gentlemen, Iron Finance has collapsed, and you're not going to believe which celebrity has gotten crushed by this project. I think this is incredible. I think it says a lot about how far cryptocurrencies came, that you actually have mainstream celebrities getting involved with DeFi, decentralized finance, but not just at the level of, a lending platform like BlockFi or Celsius, or using Bitcoin or Ethereum. We're talking about getting down in the nitty gritty, algorithmic stablecoins like Iron. Now, this so far has worked on the Binance Smart Chain side, although I think this decreases the likelihood that that side will continue to work, because I'm going to explain what's happened here and why this failed. I knew this was a possibility. Many of you have followed us for a long time. You know that I've been involved in several algorithmic stablecoin projects. Most of them operated a similar mechanic, but a simpler mechanic. Now, the complexity of how Iron worked made me think that maybe, there was some smarter people behind it, and that just maybe they had figured out a way to make it work. I had hoped they would. Stablecoins are one of the greatest risks that exist right now in crypto, and most people are not aware of this. They simply are not aware. The stablecoin peg is artificial in most cases in crypto, and people don't even know this is a thing. And people are out there telling you to go to Aave and to lend your stable coins. Well, if you're lending stable coins, a stable coin doesn't have to go off by much before you get screwed and get totally liquidated. And people don't even know this is a risk. I'm going to be covering that in a future video. But let me explain to you what happened here with Iron. Those of you that remember, for example, B-Dollar had bonds. Well, just to give you an oversimplified example, the Titan token acted a little bit like bonds. And then, of course, Iron is the dollar. The same thing that happened in B-Dollar. Once the peg was lost, it was very hard to get it back. In theory, it would work, because when the peg is lost, there's supposed to be this incentive that's created that causes the peg to move back to $1. But that only works if people believe that the ecosystem works. Like, it only works until the vast majority of people using it does not think it works any longer. And now, so far, this has worked on the Binance Smart Chain. But I'm going to make a prediction that it may not continue to work. And the reason is because the only reason it works is because people believe that it will work. There was always the possibility that Iron could get knocked off the peg permanently. Now, they did something interesting, and I notice it now with Titan. A lot of people were saying, oh, the devs messed up the minting function. I don't think they did. I don't think the devs ever thought they would see 1 billion get minted. I don't think it was ever designed to stop minting. The only possibility of Titan moving back to peg was of Iron moving back to peg was for Titan to be able to be minted. But once people start minting too much Titan, eventually it can collapse, which is exactly what's happened. And ladies and gentlemen, I just found out, and I'm going to explain this more in a moment, but I just found out Mark Cuban was involved in this. He posted this on Twitter. I got hit like everyone else. Crazy part is I got out, thought they were increasing their TVL enough, then bam. So it's interesting that Mark Cuban didn't understand how the algorithmic stablecoins work. At least it appears that way. Or just like a lot of people, maybe this was the first algorithmic stablecoin that he was a part of, or he had researched some other coins and he realized how this one was supposed to work better. And he looked at the TVL. And by the way, I looked at the TVL too. I mean, the thing was over $1 billion. So you start to think, one thing that can make an algorithmic stablecoin work is community. If the community believes that it can work, then they can keep it on peg. You got to understand that. I've got to tell you something. The most important thing, if you take anything from my channel, I'm going to tell you something that no one else will say. The single biggest factor that determines whether a cryptocurrency will succeed is not use case, and it is not development. It is the community. Dogecoin is going up in value and actually has fresh development taking place on it right now because there's a community behind it. That's the only reason. It was created to be a joke, but now there's a community behind it, and they're actually doing fresh development on Dogecoin, which is crazy to even think about for those of us that have been around a long time. Bitcoin exists because there's a community that wants to use it. Community is everything. Maybe Dogecoin is a bad example, but community is everything. So when I saw the TVL go to $1 billion, I was like, I hope this can work. Someone in my comments said a couple of days ago, they were like, oh, you should, talk more about Titan. You're in the Titan liquidity pools over there on Adamant. If you see my video earlier, I cashed out. I made a profit over here. By the way, Polygon Network is acting crazy. I'm not in Adamant right now. I was going to go into the stable coins. I was going to make a video, record, and show you how I enter into yield farming pools and how I was going to go into the stable coins. And I was going to do all of that for you. The network is just running crazy slow right now. To make complete a transaction, you have to go up to like 150 GUI. You have to increase your, whatever it's called, your gas block size or whatever. You have to increase it to like 150,000. It's just nuts. The whole thing is crazy right now. And I think it's maybe because of this whole iron thing that's going on. I'm not really sure. Down here, this girl said it looks like an exploit. Again, I don't know who Miss Natoshi is. Natoshi. I'm not certain that she's a chick. Is that a chick? She's had a nose job. Is that a chick or is that like a dude? That's a serious question, by the way. Let me know in the comments. Is this a girl? Do you guys know who this is? Is this a girl or is this a dude? I'm being dead serious. But anyway, she said, where'd it go? Oh, I lost it. Seems like a massive exploit. Bank run on Titan today. Reminds me again that we were just guinea pigs in the big DeFi experiment. Be careful. Well, that's true. That's absolutely correct. But she posted this. Titan was overpriced a lot. And it was. Titan was, by its design, Titan is supposed to be around $1. And it was amazing how many people were like, Titan's going to $100. It's like, well, it might. I mean, it's supposed to stay around $1. It may go a couple dollars up. It may go down a little bit. But if everything was working smoothly, it should not go up to $50. It shouldn't go over $10. It shouldn't get to $10 if everything was working like a well-oiled machine. So Titan was overpriced a lot and skyrocketed to $60 to $65 USD. When it retraced to $60, whales dumped, causing a bit of a panic. A 200,000 transaction was made and a lot of people instantly sold. Then following this, iron lost its peg due to Titan dropping so rapidly. This is where it spiraled out of control. Truly, you could now redeem a token worth 90 cents for 75 cents. Or of stablecoin, and 25 cents of Titan. So there's an arbitrage opportunity. However, this required minting new Titan every time. This is exactly how it's supposed to work. There's an arbitrage situation that occurs, and that's part of how the whole mechanism works. There's this decentralized incentive, tokenomic, if you will, that was supposed to help everything stay together. Big whales started arbitraging at an unreal pace, flooding the market with freshly minted Titan. Everyone panicked selling, still driving down the Titan prices, and the peg just kept dropping since it was tied to Titan prices. It's a vicious cycle that cannot be stopped unless the peg is regained. This is what concerned me about iron. I knew that when the drop happened, it could drop fast. And if it dropped fast, it could cause the peg to be lost. And if it caused the peg to be lost, then there's a mechanism. The iron price can be pushed up, but that mechanism has to happen faster than people can sell. But when people have made $60 and some of them, like me, got in under $10, there are a lot of people that are going to dump because they don't want to lose all that money they've made. So when they start dumping, people are going to dump far faster than new Titan can be minted to push the iron peg up. Again, you don't have to understand exactly how that works. You just need to understand that the mechanism could not outpace the sellers. The peg was regained for about 15 minutes and Titan appeared to be recovering. However, we lost the peg again and instantly the feedback loop of minting and selling Titan started back up again. Result, Titan is dropping infinitely as long as iron is not pegged, and iron will not be pegged if Titan keeps dropping. In result, Titan at fractions of a cent and iron at whatever percentage is backed by stablecoins, 71 to 75 cents. A lot of people have lost thousands of dollars here, some hundreds of thousands, and I feel sorry for everyone. Only way they can fix it is if Titan devs do something about the minting protocol, which seems impossible since it's the entire foundation of the iron stablecoin is based on. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. So here's the thing. When $dollar and those other platforms existed, they did not have like this unlimited ability to be able to keep pushing the price. Meaning you couldn't just keep minting tokens. You couldn't keep minting tokens forever. But you had to have new buyers of their bonds. You had to have people willing to buy. And it's a slightly different function, and there's a little bit of a different tokenomics that takes place. But at the end of the day, people are only going to interact with this ecosystem if they think the peg's going to hold. The moment they see the peg's not going to hold, there's no reason to continue to interact with the ecosystem. This is the $dollar site. As you can see, the price of $dollar is 8 cents. It was supposed to be pegged to $1. I don't know what all this is about. I have no idea who would be crazy enough to get into those pools. But as you can see, it was supposed to be pegged to $1. It didn't work. Iron Finance didn't work. Frax, the original project, all these were copied off of, didn't work. Now, I do have faith that sooner or later someone's going to figure out how to make this work. I mean, I feel sorry for anyone who lost a tremendous amount, but you got to be careful. I mean, people ask me all the time in the comments, should I go into this? Should I go into this? If you say, should I go in? The answer is no. No, you absolutely should not. should not. If you have to ask somebody else which project you should go into, you probably shouldn't go into any of them until you can make up your own mind that you believe you should go into a project. One thing that I will say about Warren Buffett, he had the chance to invest into Microsoft early on. He said he would never invest in it because he didn't fully understand it. Obviously, if a man doesn't understand Microsoft, he just doesn't understand crypto. So don't take anything he says about crypto as valuable. But what is valuable is a man in his 80s has wisdom. If you don't understand it, you don't need to go in it. I'm certain there's people who lost a tremendous amount of money in Titan, and they had no clue how it worked. I didn't understand the full ecosystem. I did understand that it had the potential to collapse hard. I know Titan was the mechanism that helped Iron keep the peg. I understood how that worked from our work in previous stable coins. I understood how it could unravel. And when I saw that price pullback this morning, I was nervous that it was going to just collapse. And I knew it would happen fast if it happened. So I was willing to just be out of it and take my profits. But just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of insane to think that Mark Cuban was in Iron Finance. Like, that's pretty insane. Don't you know, if they would have known that, if people would have known that, they'd been promoting the hell out of that. Oh, Mark Cuban's in our project. Mark Cuban's in our project. Could you even imagine? Where was he at? Oh, right here. Could you even imagine? He was replying to these guys here. Cuban Rekt CT or himself got rugged on Iron Finance. That's awesome. He says, I got hit like everyone else. Crazy part is I got out. Thought they were increasing their TVL enough. The question is, where did he get out? And how much did he get hit for? Then, bam. The thing is, he tweeted this at 7:29 when I got out this morning, 11 o'clock or so when I got out. Hopefully, a lot of people got out. It's going to be interesting to see what the devs say about this project. I'm going to be following on Telegram to see what they say. As far as Adamant goes, I will comment on that. The price is still up quite a bit. I'm shocked by this. I've been telling you to watch this the whole time. The monthly profits are down significantly. Clearly, that's what percentage of profits, by the way, were coming from, meaning this thing was up to like, 13 million at one point. That clearly tells you what percentage of the profits, the performance fees, was coming from Iron Finance. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this ultimately rolls out. It looks like at this very moment, Addy APRs and Matic APR is staying stable. Price is still sitting up in the high 40s. It was at 41 just before I started this video. It was at 51 just before I started this video. I'm not certain where it's going to go. I'm just watching it at this point. I'm out of Adamant altogether. And I'm just sitting on the sidelines watching. I'm going to collect tokens. But just to show you how hard it is to get tokens out right now, you have to come over here. You have to put this to like 150, and you have to put this to like 200,000. Truly, to get something to go through with any reasonable time. The Matic network is having a tremendous amount of difficulty. I want to give you a heads up on what happened with Iron.Finance. I want to cover this. I thought this explanation from this guy here. By the way, someone just copied this. The guy's name was Experiment. I hate when people don't give credit. His name was Experiment, XIPERIMENT or something like that. But anyway, he posted this, not Miss Natoshi or Mr. Natoshi or whoever that is. And how about that? Mark Cuban was looking at some of the same crypto projects you were looking at. Isn't that interesting? Ladies and gentlemen, cryptocurrency is a great equalizer. And if you agree with that, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Click that bell notification icon. Decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.